The Other People is it's a mystery. It's a thriller. It starts off with the father, Gabe, driving home along the motorway one night, and he finds himself behind this beaten up, rusty old car, and a little girl's face appears in the rear window of this car, and mouths just one word at him, "Daddy," and it's his little girl, and he never sees her again. We rejoin Gabe 3 years later when basically he's kind of a man obsessed. He spends his days and nights driving up and down the motorway searching for the car that he believes took his daughter, even though everyone else believes that his little girl is probably dead. And there are other characters. There is Fran and her daughter Alice, and they also spend their days on the motorway. But they're running from a group called The Other People. And Fran knows exactly what happened to Gabe's daughter, and she also knows what will happen to her if the other people ever catch up with them. A lot of The Other People takes place basically on the road, on the motorway. So the very first scene is when Gabe sees his daughter taken on the motorway. And then really a lot of the action in The Other People takes place with Gabe driving and searching for his daughter, and then in rest stops along the motorway where he meets other people, as he says at one point, other night people who, you know, travellers, people who exist in this kind of interim, whose perhaps jobs and lives involve travelling up and down the motorway and live in this kind of like twilight zone. I find motorways and the idea of when you're travelling and rest stops, or service stations as we call them in the UK, strange places. It's just full of people on their way to somewhere else. There's just a strange feel about them. I liked this idea of this transience in the novel, of nobody being settled, and of course nighttime workers and shift workers, and that whole idea of people who, you know, who are kind of in motion, always going somewhere. And I thought that was quite a nice, unique setting. It takes it very much out of the everyday. And I think it works very well for the book. Hopefully, I mean, the sort of people that read my books, I think they're quite wide. They have quite a wide appeal, hopefully. I've had people from, you know, older people to teenagers say they've really enjoyed my books, which is great. I think, you know, anybody who likes a mystery will enjoy them. People who like a thriller, particularly with The Other People, which is pretty fast-paced. And also, if you like something a little bit more horror or supernatural, all of my books have that slight element in as well. It's not enough for me just to have a thriller or a mystery. I like to go a bit weird. I like to have that other element that just gives the books that difference, really. Because when I'm reading, I quite like that as well. I remember, you know, many years ago watching Lost for the first time, and you know what started off as an interesting premise. My goodness, there's these people shipwrecked on this island, but suddenly it's like, what's this smoke, and why is there a polar bear? I like stories that throw in curveballs, and hopefully that's what I like to do with my books.